Bonjour Watcher, this is Johnny Banger 45 and welcome back to the Fruit of Grisaia. In the last episode, we have seen a lot of stuff and you saw a lot of stuff. Now Sachi has disappeared. What will happen to her? What is she going to do? Persona time. Am I really qualified to be messing around with her life? When I voice my worries, I feel sweat gathering unpleasantly in the palms of my hands. Still, if I let myself glitch this late in the game, my master will probably come back to life just to kick my ass into the next week. That's right. No point hesitating now. I've already made my decision. I will do everything I can and I'll believe in Sachi. You believe in Sachi? Let's see.
Hiruma no uchi ni 一箇所だけ窓の鍵を開けておき、そこから校舎の中に侵入。中に入ったら、そばに用意しておいたあれを校舎内に搬入する。
Mentally reviewing the plan I polished over these last few days, I followed the procedure with exactly care, one deliberate step at a time. From what the principal told us, the achievement sets will be held the day after tomorrow. However, considering the opening ceremony tomorrow and the unpredictable obstacles it will present today is my last real chance to carry out this task. Maybe after all my meticulous research and thorough brainstorming, I was unable to find a plausible alternative to my previous method.
でも、大丈夫。前回はうまくいったんだし、この方法自体に問題があるわけじゃない。ミスなく計画通りの手順を踏めば、きっと今回もうまくいく。だから大丈夫。大丈夫。
I repeat the words again and again, trying to convince myself that truth. Trying to distract myself from the hazy and discomfortable smoldering somewhere deep inside my chest.
これはきっと良くないもの。いい子でいるためには必要ないもの。だから余計なことは考えないようにしなきゃ。
Regaining my calm with an effort of where I began to spot a certain something along the darkened hallway. The inside the liquid in the thick plastic and touches the outside air, a unique smell fills my nose. I knew this stench well even as a child when I used to have pour new fuels into the kerosene heaters that warm our home, but I never did come to like it. As these distracted thoughts ran through my head, I emptied the can, then dragged a rag of flood boil and let the oil soak.
あとはこれに火をつける。
Damn! She's going to fire the building. Uh-oh. When I whisper those words to myself, I feel a voice whispering back. Somewhere deep inside my mind, my hands come to a sudden stop. And my thoughts turn to the nature of that voice. I violently shake my head back and forth, pushing it all away. I don't need to listen. Not now. I clutched to the ground, determined to resign, vaguely feeling some small part of myself give up. And I reached out a stick, a lighter clenched firmly in my hand. No! Did she just change her expression? Yes, I saw that eyes. I saw that eyes. The small sea of flames I played at the corner of the curtain blossomed quickly, spreading around the light of fury is transformed before my eyes into a full-scale fire. Scorching heat batters my skin. It's not an unfamiliar sensation. I see it with a strange feeling, almost like nostalgia. But none of that matters any longer. Since this time I deactivated fire alarms and sprinkler system beforehand, all I need to do is repeat this procedure a few times throughout the building.
これでみちる様の依頼を達成することができる。そうすればゆうくんから出された課題の答えもきっと見つかる。
For a moment, relief blossomed in my chest and in the next. Uh-oh! With a sound of a dozen shower switches on at once, the sprinkler installs in the steady spring to life. Before I can even understand the situation, an almost disproportionate torrent of cold water rains down, soaking every inch of the hallway. The flames would have grown so vigorously only seconds before shrink with astonishing swiftness.
そんな、ちゃんと確かめたはずなのに、どうして？
Just last night, I entered the pump room and turned on every last one of the disaster prevention systems installed in this building, even testing that the sprinklers were no longer activated. Well, all of a sudden they're completely functional. It's simply incomprehensible. The fire's gone out. That one thought filling my mind. I run over to the right, shatter with my body, then just flick the switch of my lighter. But the clothes already soaked through the water. It refused to accept the flame. The water slot piece of cotton is going to catch fire. I understand that rationally, but I still push the switch frantically. I face with desperation and terror. So you choose this method after all. Yuji. When I turn the corner into the thoroughly drenched hallways, I find Sachi crouched low on the floor, her eyes wide with shock. Interesting that she came in full school uniform, not the maid outfit. She'll find it easier to work in. I guess she was trying to show respect for the place in her way. Yeah, turn the sprinkles on this afternoon, if that's what you are wondering about. Well, it'll be a bit of pain in the ass if the alarms went off, so I did leave those deactivated. Carefully shutting down the prevention systems beforehand to enable setting a large-scale fire. Just the sort of plan I do expect from you, Sachi. It's actually pretty simple to predict the way a competent, careful person will approach something like this. If I was going to try and set fire to this building, I don't have to do the exact same thing. Taking out the sprinklers was a necessity, and today was the only day to do it. Yeah, I expected you to use this method from the start. And I turned the sprinklers back on because there's something I want to tell you. Sachi's mind doesn't seem to have fully caught up in the events. Her face is blank, her eyes filled with puzzlement. Most likely, she hadn't even begun to consider the possibility that someone would step in to interfere at this juncture. The situation you're dealing with here is completely different from the last one. The size of construction of this building is nothing like that little wooden schoolhouse. Plus, it's equipped with state-of-the-art fighting system. Disable those beforehand was a good start, but sprinkling chaos things around like you did last time would require a lot more fuel to be really effective, and you needed a lot of more time to spread it. Considering that you actually have to do the job alone before anyone notices, your chances of success are virtually nil. It's entirely likely you will cause some damage here and there, but that's not going to be a huge problem. The test will be just moved to an intact classroom. This place was designed for people like us, remember? You're not going to shut it down that easily. As I laid out the truth of the situation, Sachi stares out at me with disbelief and terror in her eyes. Watashi wa. Yeah, this way you're going to fail. The color instantly drains from Sachi's face. She clumps jerkily to the soaking wet floors like a puppet cut from its strings. Why are you so surprised? I'm pretty sure you knew this wouldn't work all along. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been searching that intently for another way. No need for all that research if your previous method was good enough. But no matter how you look, no matter how hard you thought it over, no other solution presented itself. And unable to find a genuinely viable strategy, you had no choice but to turn to your previous method. Since there was no other way, even if the prospects looked dim, you could at least clinch to the thought that it worked before. Am I wrong?
そんなことありません。
そんなことありません。
前はこの方法でうまくいったんですから、絶対にうまくいきます。だから大丈夫なんです。
It worked fine last time. That's why you were sent to this school in the first place.
だって他に方法がないなら必ず成功させるしかない。失敗することなんて考えてはいけないんです。だって私に失敗は許されない。私はいつもいい子でいなきゃいけない。どんな手段を使っても絶対にこの依頼を成功させなきゃダメなんです。
I Never seen this expression on her face before, never heard her voice so thick with emotion. The sound echoes fiercely down the dark hallway. No one responds. Her anguish and desperation hang in the air for the moment, then fade into the indifferent silence, as if to symbolize her long, lonely, futile struggle. Tell me, Sachi, why are you so determined to do everything I ask of you? Why are you so persistent with this good girl thing? Getting rid of the test is a completely unreasonable demand to make of a normal human being. The others say as much the other day. If you can give up now, they'll probably just saw yeah, figure as much. Nobody's going to hold it against you.
それはウー君の推測に過ぎません。
何？
どんなに仲のいい相手でも、相手の気持ちは相手にしかわかりません。それは血のつながった家族だって同じです。だから一度も失敗できない。何かを失いたくなければいい子でいないといけない。誰よりも勉強をして、誰よりも言うことを聞いて、誰からも好かれるような子でいなければいけないんです。そうじゃないとみんななくなってしまう。現に幼い頃の私が悪い子だったせいで、私の大好きだった人はみんな私の前からいなくなりました。あんなに私のことを可愛がってくれていたお父さんとお母さん、わがままばかり言う私に愛想を尽かしてあんなことになって、それにウくんだって大切なものを失うのは自分が死ぬことよりも怖い。あんなに辛い思いをするのはもう嫌なんです。もう何も失いたくない。だから私は絶対に失敗できないんです。今度失敗したらきっとまたみんないなくなってしまう。こんな私に彼女になれって言ってくれたゆうくんも、みちる様も、まきちゃんも、あまねさんも、さくきさんも、学園長さんも、みんないなくなってしまうんです。
Sachi's feeling flows out of her in a torrent of words, her voice rising to a shout. Every sentence is filled with such bitterness that it is difficult even to listen. The pain of losing those who were precious to her, the sadness, the impotent anger, all jumbled together in an anguished wail. To me, it sounds like the voice of a child crying out for help. So then, if you become a good girl, if you succeed in this request, will you be yourself again? Will acting like a good girl should keep the things you love safe? What do you think, Sachi? Sachi spared her heart to me, but every time I offer not kindness or comfortable word with a steady gaze.
それはもちろんです。
I see. In that case, I will grant your wish. I'm going to help you become the person you want to be. I'll make sure you complete this task.
そんな、どうして。
I made a promise, didn't I? I want to help you be yourself.
だとしても、ゆうくんはさっきこの依頼を成功させるのは限りなく不可能に近いって。
Virtually impossible means there are non-zero chance. And if you're not trying to do everything alone, things change pretty dramatically. As long as you really are willing to do whatever it takes, there are plenty of ways to get this done.
それは本当でしょうか。
Of course.
じゃあゆうくんには今回の依頼を成功させるための作戦があるんですね。
Yeah, I have a slightly different way of doing things, but it should be fine. The preliminary arrangements are already in place.
いつの間にそんなことを。
I assume joint responsibility for our success on this job. And when 9,029 participants in this mission, failure is an option. 9,029 participants in the mission? Of course, this is an Ichigai resort, and I'm not going on a cleaning expedition. Even so, I'm still my master's prepared. Asako didn't just develop my technique and crammed me full of technical knowledge. She taught me a whole way of thinking. No matter what the job entails, I will face it with the resolve and focus I bring to the most dangerous missions.
902Q.
Well, it's just a number that comes out with a bit of reputation, no matter how ugly things look. 9029 pulls through. Sachi gazes out at me as I thought I have descended on a cloud from heaven. Having prospered this strategy, I naturally know full well how things are going to play out. And when I think about what's coming, it will take a real effort not to turn away from that gaze.
Yu-kun?
No, it's nothing. Shaking my head lightly to drive away that lingering touch of guilt, I set on my face into a serious expression. But since it's your perfect record at stake, I think you should be the one to actually carry this plan out.
はい。私にできることがあれば、何でもやらせてください。
Right, in that case, there's something I want you to do for me.
やってもらいたいこと。ここは学園長室ですよね。
Yeah, this was my base camp during the initial preparations. Although Chizuru might be irritated to hear me say I needed a room, no one was likely to drop by a visit.
ということは、ずいぶん前から準備を。
That's right. The method I came out with involved a good amount of simple spade works.
なるほどです。
Anyway, even everything is more or less ready to go, but we still need the finishing touch.
仕上げ。
I'd like you to help me with that. I retrieve a sizable duralumin case from behind the desk and swing it open. Is that a pistol?
これは何でしょう。粘土みたいにぐにゃぐにゃしていますけど。
Grenade? Guess it's not surprising that Sachi would recognize this stuff no matter how broad her studies may be. Well, she might have heard of it, but that probably won't translate it to recognize it by sight. I'm hoping to write this up before midnight, so I'm not going to explain in details at the moment. Just think of it as a clay for now, like you say.
粘土で学力テストをなくすことができるんですか？
Yeah, once you set some of that up in a few places, the job's done. I'll show you what it needs to be done. You think you can handle it, Sachi?
はい、粘土細工は得意な方だと自負しています。お任せください。
Your artistic talents are really relevant, but whatever. That confidence should be more than enough to pull this off.
はい。
Alright, first of all, I explain how to install it. You see this step holder here?
はい。それに、点々と木箱のようなものが廊下に。
When you're getting all of this ready out was one part of the spade work I mentioned.
なるほどです。
Anyway, when you see a hole like this, install one of these long, thin pieces of clay inside, like so. If there are square drawn on the wall instead, set one of these square pieces of clay on top of it. That's all I need you to do it for me. Any questions?
ありません。
Excellent. I'll mark the points you need to cover on these plans. So go ahead and get started. I'll be taking care of something else in the meantime.
はい、わかりました。
Looks like that's about it.
はい。
Sachi can't fully mask the weariness in her voice or on her face. No doubt a result of all pressures she's been under lately. Our final task is complete. We meet out in the courtyard as arranged beforehand.
私は本当に図面通りに粘土を設置しただけなのですが。
Actually, that's a bomb.
これでテストをなくすことができるのでしょうか？
Yeah, as long as we didn't make any mistakes, it will.
そうですか。
Apparently not fully buying my assurance, Sachi answers somewhat half-heartedly. Of course, she doesn't have the concrete details to her. It really was nothing more than a scattering some clay around the building. It would be strange if she wasn't a little dubious at this point. Okay, I can tell you what. I can tell you want to see some results. Let's get moving.
はい、わかりました。ゆうくん、私たちはどこへ向かっているのでしょう？
Sachi tagged along in silence for a good while, but eventually she is no longer able to contain her uncertainty. A place where we can overlook the
ど
school.
うしてそんなところに？
You'll understand soon. Alright, I guess here will be fine. Wow, see? The handsome Yuji-kun and also a kawaii Sachi Komine. After about 20 minutes of walking, we reach a high place not far. There's a little cover of any sort before us. The reclaimed spit of land where our school stands lies clearly visible.
確かに学園が見渡せる景色の綺麗な場所ですけど、ゆうくんはここで何を？
Explosion will happen after this. Before I answer that question, there's something I want to confirm.
確認ですか？
Yeah, you sure you want to do this? Fulfill this request?
それはどういう意味でしょう？
You want to do what you're told without fail, to answer every demand everyone makes of you. And so you're absolutely determined to carry out even a completely unreasonable request like getting rid of the test. That's the choice you are making here. You sure you are not going to regret?
後悔。
Listen to me, Sachi. This is an important question. Think it over carefully and give me an honest answer. Sachi falls silent, a serious expression on her face. Looks like she already started to deliberate. I don't know what she's thinking. I don't know how she's reasoning her way through this question. But no matter how dependent she may be on others, no matter how basic and obedient her way of life, in the end, her decisions are her own. If nothing else, I want to remind her of that.
ゆうくん、私はこの依頼を成功させたいです。
I want to carry out.
いい子でい続けること。それが私が私でいられるってことなんです。
I see. Then I have no choice to make her realize. Then I have no choice but to make her realize. Guess that's going to cause a bit of trouble for you guys, but those are the breaks. Your luck ran off the day I transferred into your class. Sorry, Sakaki, Amane, Michiru, Makina. Alright then, throw this switch and you will get what you want. With those words, I retrieved a crudely remade remote control from my jacket and handed it to Sachi. An explosion, right?
私がこのスイッチを？
Yeah, doesn't look like much, doesn't it? But I guarantee you, that thing will get rid of the test. Throw that switch and you'll stay a good girl. Throw that switch and you will stay a good girl.
わかりました。
After staring down at the small box in her hands for a long moment, Sachi shifts her gaze to our school, firm conviction in her eyes.
確かにあんなに美味しい中華料理食べたのって初めてかもね。
That's where they are going.
てなわけでチルチル、私眠くなってきたからちょっと膝枕して。
What a good Sachi-chan, Yumiko-chan.
ああ、なんで私がそんなことしなきゃいけないのよ。ちょっとだけだからね。あんがとう、ジルジル。
ジルジル。
ジルジル言うな。
ジルジル。
じゃあジルジル。それあだ名ですらないじゃない。もうただの擬音になってるし。
でも中華街で高級中華食べ放題の後はヘリで夜景鑑賞なんて。榊さんの家がお金持ちなのは知ってるけど、こんなに豪遊しちゃって大丈夫だったの？ええ、中華以外は私のお金じゃないの。え？なんでもないの？ね
えねえユミコ、あれが東京タワー、あれ噂の東京タワーなの。
松島さん、あなたが初めての空からの夜景に興奮しているのはわかるけれど、もう少し静かにできないの？
かわいいユミコちゃん。
失礼ね。私だって空からの夜景くらい見たことあるわよ。海外行ったことあるし。
へえ、ミチルって海外行ったことあるんだ。
まあね。でも遠い昔の話よ。
でも榊さんも粋な計らいしてくれるわよね。夏休み最終日にこんな思い出作ってくれるなんて。そう思ったのならお礼は風見くんに言っておくといいの？ん？そこでなんでユージ？私に今日のことを提案してくれたのは風見くんだからね。なるほどなるほど。榊さんのデレブリにはそういう裏があったわけですか。
デレデレ。そうかわいいユミコちゃん。
それよりさ、 夜景が綺麗なのが東京の方ばっかりで、三島崎の方はあまり見るとこない感じじゃない？
それはしょうがないでしょう。三島崎って割と田舎だし。
そうでもないのよ。さっきあそこがリカって光ったし。
え？どこどこ？
あ、
The school. Holy shit! A real flash of light. Unlike an aerial bomb, there's no brilliant burst of flame to accompany a powerful sound of the blast. A pretty plain explosion as these things go. The school's building where I spent the last 3 months of my life, and such nearly a year of hers, crumbles noisily before our eyes.
あれは、美浜学園ですよね。
Yeah, it was Miyama Academy, at least. We just got rid of it, along with that test.
じゃあ、私がさっき設置した粘土のようなものは、まさか。
Plastic explosives. Modern Japanese architecture is a world famous for its strict building codes and study engineering. You know? Demolishing even a modest-sized structure requires a lot of detailed calculations, and bolting to the supporting columns is a pretty involved process. Just getting the necessary amount of explosives ready was a real challenge. Anyway, with the building itself is gone, the school won't be up and running anytime soon. That test is going to happen. In fact, I expect that's going to be the last thing on anyone's mind for a while.
確かにその通りです。
Sachi responded vaguely to my explanation, her tongue absent-minded. The word seems to have left her mouth out of flex. It reflects. Her attention is clearly glued to the building below, or what left of it, anyway. There were plenty of other formalities and preparations involved as well. Considering all the time it took to set this up, it sure disappeared pretty quickly.
そうですね。
Something wrong? This is what you wanted, right?
はい。ゆうくんの言う通りです。これでテストがなくなるなら、みちる様の依頼を達成したことになる。そうなれば、私はいい子で居続けることができます。
私は。
それが私の望んだもので、私はそのためだけに、今まで頑張ってきた。
Did she just cry? Yes. Sachi is crying.
なのに、それなのに、こんなにも胸がざわざわするのは、なぜなんでしょう。
Apparently unable to grasp her own emotions, Sachi continues to stare down at the rubber that was once our school, her face blank with confusion. Can't understand where that's coming from, huh?
はい。
Well, I guess that's not surprising. You have never felt uncertainty about doing what you're told, have you? Never felt it's necessary to even consider how obeying an order makes you feel?
じゃあ、私は。
Watashi wa. Put a hand on your cheek. Sachi obediently brings her hand to her face, and her fingers brush against a small stream of tears.
あれ、私、でも、どうして。
The girl was even aware she was crying. The confusion only deepening, Sachi looks at me with a face full of pure bewilderment. You may not be conscious of it yet, but a part of you already knows the answer to that question. What was that place?
私が去年から通っている学園です。
Eh?
ゆうくんがいて、皆さんがいて、今日まで本当にたくさんのことがあった場所です。
Specifically, what sort of things?
みんなでいろんな科目の授業を受けて、みんなで遊んで、屋上で流しそうめんをしたこともありました。
Anything else come to mind?
最近はいろいろな相談に乗っていただきました。ちょっとエッチな相談に乗ってもらったり、おしゃれの相談に乗ってもらったり、ゆうくんから出された課題について相談に乗ってもらったこともありました。
So you spend a lot of time here there. What sort of memories are those?
とても楽しい時間だったと思います。前の学校にいた頃は考えられなかったような会話と笑顔に満ちた空間。私が転入してきたこの美浜学園は町の人たちから刑務所と比喩されるような場所とは正反対のところだったんです。外では厄介者扱いされるような私のことをこの学園は受け入れてくれました。みちる様は私のことを必要としてくれました。まきちゃんは私のことを一番の友達だと言ってくれました。あまねさんは私にたくさんのことを教えてくれました。榊さんは一歩引いたところからいつも私のことを気にかけてくれていました。
The words begins to flow smoothly, naturally. Sakaki no longer need my questions to guide her, as she begins to understand the meaning of her tears. Her honest feelings come pouring out of her mouth.
私が大好きだったあの家のように温かい場所、それが私にとっての美浜学園です。
That's a fact.
はい、あの学園は私にとってきっとそれだけ特別な場所だったんです。
Right. And you just destroyed that special place with your own hands. Oh. Her special face changed. Since your 10th birthday, you've been clinging persistently to a single idea. Telling yourself is the only and only answer. Do what you are told, be a good girl, never disobey. And your stubborn adherence to that simplistic rule brought you to this moment.
そんな、どうして。
Oh damn, her special face changed again, my friend. See?
私いい子でい続けたのに、あんなに頑張ったのに、どうしてこんなことになるの。いい子でい続けることで大切なものを失うなら、私は今まで何のために。こんなの違う、絶対に違う。私が望んでいたのはこんなんじゃない、こんなんじゃないのに。
Remember what you said to me just a few minutes ago. You told me that being a good girl is what allows you to be yourself. That is the only way to ensure your happiness.
はい、
Sorry, but you were wrong. That's not how this works. Sorry, but you were wrong. That's not how this works. Sure, an intelligent, pathologically helpful, honest student will probably make plenty of friends anyway they go. You are so useful to have around. Most people probably treat you nicely enough for their own convenience. And when they realize what you were carrying, when you were no longer of any use to them, I guess they abandon you quickly enough. That sort of always will. But how about the people in this school? Do you think they are the same way?
それは。
Do you really believe Michiru and Makina think of you as nothing but their personal lackey? Do you really believe they abandoned a friend for failing to carry out a single order?
思いません。
That's right. You have been so afraid of losing something that you couldn't even see what you had. You've been going through life curled up in a chair, both eyes squeezed shut. In exchange for your brittle happiness, you lost sight of what's around you. You have lost something you didn't even know you had. That's what I want you to realize.
大切なものを守ろうとして何かを失う。
Yeah. You know, human beings may be the smartest animal currently stirring around the earth, but that doesn't mean we are the wisest. No matter how much we learn or how advanced our civilization becomes, we're still complete idiots about the simplest thing. When it comes right down to it, we don't realize how precious anything is until we lose it. I might be giving you a pretty pompous lecture right now, but I know exception to that rule myself.
じゃあゆうくんにも。
Yeah. There was a reason I couldn't promise to play with you on your birthday. My sister had died in an accident. And with her gone, my family crumbles it on itself like a house of cards. I'm the only one who got through it alive.
私ゆ ゆうくんにそんなことがあったなんて全然知りませんでした。
Of course you didn't. I never told you.
じゃあもしかしてゆうくんはそのことを私に教えようとして。
Not entirely. I also wanted to learn something about you.
私のことを知る？
Yeah. There was a time where you could have asked me for anything, and all you requested was my praise. That's the only thing I never really understood. That's the one thing I never really understood. But after hearing your feelings just now, I think I finally found my answer. I turned Sachi towards me and softly rest my hands on her head. It's been a long and lonely road, hasn't it? You did good, Sachi. You really did. Speaking in the gentlest tone of voice I can manage, I affectionately ruffled Sachi's hair. Her eyes open wide as saucers, and in the next moment, fat tears are running down her face. You were waiting to hear those words, weren't you? Utterly lost, overwhelmed by pain, sadness, and confusion, waiting for someone to show her the way forward. Waiting for someone to see the crushing guilt she's carried, to know the punishment she will levy on herself every moment of every day, and to tell her you have done enough.
そうなのかもしれません。私ずっと怖かったんです。テストでいい点を取ってお手伝いもして、そんな私をお父さんとお母さんは偉いねって褒めてくれました。それなのに急にお父さんとお母さんが冷たくなって、大好きだったあの家に機械の音ばかりが響くようになって、最後にはそれは私がわがままだったのがいけなかったんだ、もっといい子でいなければいけなかったんだって。だからもう一度も失敗できない、いい子でい続けなきゃって。
I see. Then I suppose I'm the only one who can tell you this now. I'm the only one who can tell you this now. You don't have to be a good girl anymore. I understand your feelings. I understand how hard you have tried. You have done more than enough. You can rest now.
それは本当でしょうか？
Yeah.
本当に私はもういい子でいなくてもいいんでしょうか？
Watashi wa. Yeah, it's true. Her 10th birthday, a day that should have been full of happy memories, ended in unimaginably tragedy. Ever since Sachi lived a half life bounded tightly by the irrational guilt of a child until this moment. The good girl she never truly was. She never truly was. The role she forced herself to play all this time, evaporate with her tears into the warm night. All this time she suffered quietly, longing, her constant fear and pain somewhere out of sight. Nobody can erase those tears or the mark they have left on her. And nobody can undo the accident that ruined her life. There's one and only thing I can do for Sachi right now. Hold her shaky body in my arms until her tears run dry.
すみません。もう大丈夫です。
Right. As she cried, Sachi failed to wipe her cheeks dry and raises her head from its resting place against my chest.
お見苦しいところをお見せしてしまってすみませんでした。
Sachi-chan, why are you so cute? Sachi-chan. Nothing to worry about. A girl's tear stained face is a special privilege reserved for her boyfriend.
じゃあ私の涙はゆうくんのご褒美に？
I did just blow up a school for you, remember? I didn't think it's too much to ask.
そういえば私たち美浜学園を壊してしまったんですよ。 あまりにもびっくりしすぎて、なんだかあまり実感がありませんけど。
Yeah, we did. Probably going to cause Sakaki and company a lot of trouble. Not to mention everyone who works there.
そういえば皆さんは、寮は大丈夫なのでしょうか？
As she finally realized the potential for collateral damage involved with this little show, the color drains for Sachi's face. Don't worry about them. They are in the safe place.
それならよかったです。
Her expression of pure relief spread across her face. Sachi's bring her hand to her chest as if to slow the frantic beating of her heart. It's a simple and earnest gesture, one that speaks volumes about her feelings toward our classmates.
ですが、皆さんに迷惑をかけたことに変わりがないとすると、ここは二人で腹を切ってお詫びするべきでしょうか。
That will kind of make this whole thing pointless, don't you think?
そういえばそうですね。
It feels like it's been an awfully long time since I had one of these distinctive pure Sachi moments. That brings me a slight sense of relief. Somehow it makes me feel like all this wasn't a waste of effort on my part. Well, we can't exactly go put the school back together again, but like I told you before, I spent some time on the planning phase here, and a big part of that was figuring out how to keep the damage and fuss to a minimum.
そういえば、あんなに大きな爆発があったのに、あまり大きな騒ぎになっていないみたいです。
Yeah, I guess we have got to thank Chizuru and JB for that one.
ということは、春寺さんや学園長さんはこうなることを知っていたんですか？
When we entered the principal office, did you notice that most of the books and documents were missing?
はい、全然気づきませんでした。
Well, I guess you had the other things to worry about at that time. But in any case, yeah, I got myself in some pretty serious step to make this happen.
それはどれくらいの借りなんでしょう？
Let's see, if I work for the rest of my life for free, either I'll be able to pay this one back, handle this sort of things wrong, and there's a possibility that I end up getting disposed of through an accidental death.
そんな、自分がそんなことになるかもしれないのに、ゆうくんはあれだけのことを？
From what I do see, this was the only way I get through to you. You needed to fail through success. If all I wanted was to get rid of that test, I feel I just asked Chizuru.
私にはその選択肢すら浮かびませんでした。
Exactly the reason I had to blow up the school instead. And the episode here, my friend. Thank you for watching my video. My video is just for
セー
fun.
ブするわ。
Don't take heart, brothers and sisters. Okay? Magic word time. Magic word time. Adios and famosa. Improvisation.